Hello, my beautiful souls, and welcome to Healing with Hila. This is your space for aligning, expanding, and reconnecting with who you truly are. I'm your host, Hila Kedem Ferguson. I'm a transpersonal hypnotherapist, manifestation coach, and sound creator. Thank you so much for inviting me into your life. Hello, my beautiful souls. I am excited to be here for another episode for us. And again, tuning in my new group that I've been channeling, Orion's Council, would really like to talk to everybody again. And I know better than to resist. Honestly, last episode was so amazing. They brought forth incredible information. It blew my mind. Really, it was so amazingly profound and helped so many of my clients and people that heard the episode. So I am not going to stand in the way of any beings that would like to help and support us on this planet during this time. And I'm grateful to be here to just deliver these messages and be a channel for that. Again, I have no idea what they're going to be talking to us about, although they are letting me really feel the energy of joy. And so I am wondering if it's going to be part of that. And like we've been doing, I'm just going to give them the stage. I'm going to let them speak through me. They're not taking over anything. It's just too much brain power to translate the information that's coming through as they're speaking and changing the verses of everything. So I just deliver it as if they're talking to you. I am basically letting you hear what I'm hearing in my mind. I really hope you enjoyed today's episode and that some really great knowings are going to come through for us. Hello, everyone. We are so excited to speak with you today. And our friend is right. The energy of joy is very prevalent and is part of our learnings for today. We're going to start by talking to you about how joy relates to fun. Last episode, we opened up the space of fun, talking to you about how it is an indicator of alignment and something that all of you come with as a very, very strong compass in your life when you're young. And oftentimes, as you move into adulthood, you release and let that go because of the conditions of your society. We are so grateful to have a stage to speak to you about the energy of fun and hopefully restore more of that sense of alignment for you within. Because truthfully, this is a compass that you should have not discarded. This is a space that we would like for you to follow in your day to day life. We would like for fun to lead you in the pieces in which you experience in your life. And we want to move into the energy of joy. The energy of joy is a bit different. It's more of a slower frequency, and it is one that is more experienced through the emotional system of the body, where fun is experienced in both the emotional and the visceral physical levels of your body. The vibration of joy is closely related to the vibration of love. It sits in that space of expansion that your soul cultivated and chose to experience when it came into the physical body and wanted to experience the multitude of human emotions. Human emotions are not experienced by non physical the way you experience them. Human emotions are simply vibrations for us. They are the difference between the number 6 and the number 25. We are very neutral to the experience of that. We recognize that they all hold a different vibration and frequency, but we do not label them like you do. We do not have a spectrum of good and bad. We do not have your math line of zero positive numbers and negative numbers, neutral feelings, positive feelings, negative feelings. We don't experience that as that. For us, it's simply a measurement of a frequency that has a purpose of expansion and shifting and changing the frequency soup in which we live in. Why are we telling you these things? We would like for you to gain an understanding on what emotions are and how you experience them from the physical body versus how we non physical label and experience them. Because in your physical bodies, you actually experience the spectrum of joy and pain. You do experience the spectrum of negative and positive to your vibrations. Your feelings become this very, very strong indicator to that space of alignment. You took something that you knew as non-physical, something that you understood, and decided to incorporate it into a system that will translate it a bit differently. You made it denser. You made it more complicated, which is great. You created it in that way, so you get to experience your physical reality and still be tuned into your non-physical part and have that compass indicator system within you. When you did that, when you took that frequency that we experience in non-physical and took it into the physical, in essence, you changed its frequency. We've explained our friend this before, this idea of expansion, and we would like to take it onto this stage as well right now. We showed her how when you are non-physical, you play still in frequency and experience a shift and a change to who you are. But it is as if you are on a piano and you're playing in that last octave. You still are experiencing different sounds. You have different combinations that you can do. There's a lot of music that can be played right there on that octave. And then you decide to become physical in whatever form, human or otherwise. But by doing that, you take who you are as pure non-physical energy and you gently weave it into a physical body that is much denser and holds a much different frequency than what you're used to in non-physical. And so all of a sudden, you are opening up all these other octaves on your piano. There are vibrations that you experience in physical that you had never been able to experience otherwise. There's experiences of physical in other realms that you would not be able to experience on yours. Every physical body you choose to move into has the ability to experience a different octave on that piano. And all of a sudden, you are becoming more. There is more music, there's more notes, more combinations, there's so much more. That is the essence of expansion. That is why you choose to move into physical, because of the want to experience a different frequency, one that you would not be able to call in if you maintain non-physical. And that's where the emotions shift. As you are in non-physical, you only experience it as vibration and frequency. Yet when you bring it into the physical body, you make it more complex. You introduce more notes to those octaves. And that, in essence, is what helps that process of expansion. And by you paying attention to the way those feelings feel, uplifting versus heavy, joyous and exciting versus sad and anger. So you are able to continue in your life's purpose. You are able to remember the non-physical decisions you've made prior to coming that lead you in the most optimal space of expansion. So our friend is asking us to clarify, why did we start by speaking about joy? And we're letting her know right now that honestly, it was just a bridge to start the conversation going. And if there's something that we want you to take from this, is that joy is as important as its counterpart. That when, again, you have the other side of the scale, where you experience emotions not just as a neutral frequency, but as something more visceral. Allow the importance of each one to hold the same weight. Many people feel like on this planet, in this physical body, if they are just more in the frequency of joy and love, their purpose is going to be complete. And we are here to tell you not necessarily. The underlying purpose, the core purpose, was to introduce a multitude of octaves, a multitude of notes. Above all else, if the experience in the physical was meant to only be in that high octave of joy and love, you would have not chosen to incarnate. And so we want you to appreciate the spectrum of your feelings, to find that anger is just as important as joy, that fear is just as serving as courage, and that the purpose here is to truly experience it all. And later, yes, absolutely choose the ones that feel better. Let that be the piece that leads you. But the importance of experiencing them lies the same. Every time you introduce a different frequency, you introduce a different note to your soul. You build a more intricate melody. You expand your non physical existence into vibrations that were not there before. All of your journey has value. Your pain has as much value as your joy. Everything introduces another frequency, opens another octave, creates a new song. And so give yourself grace in all of your ups and all of your lows, and know that you are creating magical music. With that, we are complete about this. Wow. Okay. This was cool, unexpected, yet I truly came with no expectations. So, in a way, it was expected because I expected magic and magic came. I'm asking if they would like to open up another subject, and they are saying yes. After a few moments of meditation, I've also connected with my own team of guidance. Orion's council actually stepped back, and my own team wanted me to share a few teachings with you. This is stuff that already came through for me, so I am going to just share with you. I don't necessarily need them channeling this live because I've already had some time to sit with those concepts and share with them with my clients. And I really just want to take a few moments and speak about that piece. And so they're talking to me about the ability that we have to create our reality. And that sometimes, as people, and we've talked about it in a few other podcasts, we tend to put a date or an idea, like when this happened, like, I'll walk through this door and my body will be different. I'll walk through this door and I'll have the love of my life. I'll walk through this door and, right? I'll have all the money I'll ever want to have. And they said, well, you need to understand that the door that you walk through, right, is the doors in your mind. It's your thought. Every time you think a thought, you choose what door you're walking through. And eventually, that momentum of those thoughts, those doors that you constantly choose, creates your physical reality. And after that podcast, I remember asking my guides to help me understand, what do you do when you are under extreme circumstances, right? Because they always tell people, oh, shut the news off, walk away if you're in a situation that doesn't feel good, like remove yourself if you can, reset the energy, right? So I asked my guides, I said, well, what if you're an active soldier? There's war happening right now. It's very prevalent for me. So I'm like, what if you're literally like under rapid fire, like getting hit, bombs exploding? Like, you can't turn the TV off. Like, you can't walk away, right? What if you are being held hostage, locked somewhere? Again, there isn't a lot of turn the TV off, walk away, change just like reality. And so they said to me this, they said, it doesn't matter. Your thoughts are all the time. They don't stop. And even when you are under rapid fire, right? As a soldier, you're in the bunker, like bombs exploding, you're running, whatever, it doesn't matter. You are thinking. You are still thinking. And so they said, you are still in control of that. You still have the ability to utilize the powerful tool of your mind to shift and recreate reality eventually, physically bigger. And so they said, so you can run, right, in active war and think, I'm doing this for my highest good. This is my soul mission. I'm guided and protected. All is working out for me. The universe is going to make this the best case it could ever be, whatever it is, right? Or you can be in a space of like, this is terrible. And I'm going to die and I'm never going to see my kids again. It doesn't matter. You get to choose the thought you think. there's always free will in that door that you're stepping through. And then they said to me, and if you're in a situation that is less active, right? You're hiding under a bunker while there's bombs exploding, you're in a hostage situation, and you can't escape your physical reality, you still can move in your mind somewhere else. There's still this door that you get to choose to walk through. And you can choose in that moment to bring yourself into the middle of the ocean and tune in with the waves. You can choose in that moment to just sink to the breath and go somewhere else. And so they were so adamant in kind of just again driving this point that nothing operates outside this law of the universe and that nothing operates outside our power in being able to own that thought and move through it. I've been working a lot with the affirmation of show me how good it can get. And I think that part of what I really love about it is that I'm not affirming anything in present tense, right? I'm not saying everything is amazing. I am opening up the possibility for the universe to show me how good it can get. And in that moment, the way I see it, I have three choices. I have show me how good it can get, show me how it stays the same, or show me how bad it can get. Those are the doors that I get to walk through every single moment of my life, regardless of the circumstances and situation that I am in. My other recent favorite affirmation is the universe always rearranges everything for my highest good. Because again, I'm allowing flexibility in that. I'm allowing unknown to happen. I'm allowing this space of allowing the next step of my reality to be created differently. I'm allowing more control, personal influence to the reality that surrounds me. I am an active player in this, you know? And so many people, right? Like you'll walk down the street and you'll ask, do you want world peace? And I don't think you're going to find many to tell you no, right? World peace, man. But how many of those people walk through the show me how good it can get door every single day? Because the only way to shift collective consciousness fully and completely in one way or another is to have enough droplets, right, to move the sea. Like enough people operate from that space of law of attraction in their own mind and they'll shift the tide. And so the next time you think about that subject, right, I want you to ask yourself, what door am I walking through every single day in my mind? Orion's council is kind of pinging me and letting me know that they are wanting to kind of piggyback off what I just said and add a little bit more. They want to talk a little bit about Earth as the planet that we intended it to be, this place of high contrast and major lessons. I think that they are, yes, they're showing me what they're doing is they're tying to the original message of the spectrum of emotion and how it's all valuable. This idea that you came here to planet Earth to experience the frequency of joy and love more than anything else is false. And we really, really want you to understand that that's okay. The experience of the vibration of joy and love is really what you have in non physical. There would be no purpose and point to have the same mission here. And so when you witness the diversity of your planet, when you watch the earth being ravaged, when you watch unpleasantness happening, it's also okay to take a deep breath and understand that that is also introducing a new octave, that that is also bringing forth new notes that you wouldn't have had otherwise. The more you can come from a place of acceptance to your planet, to the diversity that it's here to offer, that there's nothing wrong, really, truly, deeply wrong when things seem bad on paper, that it's all part of the ebb and flow of this earth, that it's always been and always will be as long as you would like it to maintain its spot in that lesson. Earth evolving and changing and shifting into that fifth dimension where you are telepathically communicating with one another and run that other frequency of joy and love, it's not necessary on Earth. There are other places that do that. And you, dear ones, don't feel like you're failing in any way because of the diversity and the contrast and the pain that you experience on this planet. The density, the play between the law of flow and the law of gravity. Last time we introduced you to law of flow to bring forth more of that balance. But all of those laws still operate. Yes, the optimal and ultimate law is the law of attraction that runs the universe. There's some of those laws that operate throughout infinity. But certain places, because they are physical, just like your physical body that we taught you that you inhibit when you move into, you introduce a different octave, you bring in an expansion. That is the purpose of your earth. Your earth is the body of a frequency that gets to experience the diversity of what it has to offer. The purpose was never joy and love, always just that. Also, but not just that. And so the more you can understand that, the more you can hold space for the diversity that happens, the easier it would be to walk through those doors that our other friends were talking about. Because if you can stand back right now and look at the situation of your planet as absolutely perfect, as exactly as it needs to be, as just Earth doing its thing, as just this beautiful, wonderful entity of a planet operating exactly to its own sole purpose, right? To that diversity and to have that dichotomy and to have all of it here, all of the contrasts and all of it, then the pain that you feel about what is happening right now will subside. And therefore, the door you choose to walk through is the show me how good it can get door, not the show me how worse it can get. So love her, give her space to be broken, hold the vision of wholeness, strive for joy and love, and hold space for everything else, and all will be well. And with that, we are complete about this. Wow, that was really cool. I don't think I've ever really seen it like that. I don't think I've ever, like, I know that. I really know that about our planet. I know this is a place of contrast. I know that we're not supposed to be in the other vibration. I really do know those pieces. Those are not new to me. But the piece that felt really different and new was them letting me feel the octaves that Earth brings forth when it comes with its diversity, when it comes with its contrast and its pain. I was able to understand it for myself, right? I was able to understand it by choosing this physical body and experiencing these things that this physical body, this suffering that elevates me and gets me to, create something magical for others or whatever it is, right? But I've never fully felt and seen it in that way. And that by allowing Earth to do its thing, allowing Earth to continue to expand the universe, because in a way it's its own physical entity and it has its own energy that is expanding because of that. And we are all part of that. It's just, wow. Like, I love these pieces and I'm going to have to sit with them and integrate and how we can hold space for that. And that totally shifts those doors we walk through, which changes consciousness. I am so deeply grateful for my teams that gathered today and really gave us this incredible podcast. I'm so, so grateful to have a platform where I can bring forth information to support humanity and others. And I really do hope that this reached you in that perfect divine timing, that you're hearing the pieces you need to hear, that anytime you might return to this, you'll hear the pieces you need to hear, and that this will continue to serve humanity on its highest level. I really hope you enjoyed today's episode. Thank you so much for joining me, and thank you for inviting me into your lives. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Healing with Hila. If you'd like to explore more, join our amazing community on Patreon for my Midnight Thoughts, exclusive podcast, and so much more. Thank you so much for inviting me into your life. So much love your way.